Okay, let's jump right in. Today's explainer unpacks a highly charged, incredibly viral commentary from YouTuber Nux, who is aggressively responding to the news of Elon Musk reportedly reaching trillionaire status. And look, the source material we're diving into today isn't just about money. It is a full-blown, intense culture war over extreme wealth.
Here's how we're breaking down this debate today. We'll start with the trillionaire milestone, then look at the progressive backlash, examine the accusations of hypocrisy, dive straight into the internet culture clash, and finally weigh the public versus private sector.
All right, Section 1, the trillionaire milestone, a triumph of meritocracy?
$1 trillion. Now, to the creator of this video, that massive number is absolutely not a sign of hoarding. Quite the opposite, actually. He frames it as an objective net positive for humanity. He enthusiastically celebrates this milestone, making the case that Musk is ultimately just being rewarded for his hard work, for building tangible things, like rockets and electric vehicles that actively push civilization forward.
The source establishes this foundational belief right out of the gate. Capitalism justly rewards those who actually build things. The creator explicitly credits Musk with contributing to the future of humanity. He even goes so far as to claim that Musk's purchase of Twitter fundamentally altered humanity for the better. So the video is setting up a direct contrast early on. It's heavily praising Musk's tangible, private achievements against what the creator views as completely ineffective, wasteful public systems. Moving on to Section 2, the progressive backlash, the antithesis to extreme wealth. To really illustrate this progressive perspective, the creator highlights this specific quote from Senator Bernie Sanders. And it perfectly captures the left-wing argument, right? The idea that extreme wealth isn't the result of meritocracy at all, but rather a dangerous feature of a rigged economy that is actively destroying the social fabric.
The video maps out these progressive arguments in detail. It shows figures like Sanders and Elizabeth Warren pointing out that the top 1% hold more wealth than the entire middle class, while everyday Americans are out here struggling to pay off student loans or even afford groceries. They're advocating for a total overhaul of the tax code, implementing wealth taxes, and redistributing this capital to fund public goods. Their core argument is that having a single trillionaire literally damages the very fabric of democracy.
Which brings us to Section 3, accusations of hypocrisy, the creator's counterattack.
So how does the creator synthesize this conflict? Well, he basically weaponizes financial data to launch a massive counterattack. He lines up the politicians' anti-wealth rhetoric directly against their own alleged multi-million-dollar net worths. The creator argues that people like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Gavin Newsom, and Ro Khanna are sitting on massive fortunes. We're talking anywhere from $12 million up to $230 million, while simultaneously lecturing the general public about the evils of wealth.
The source is particularly focused on Bernie Sanders here. The video specifically mocks him by pointing out a rather, convenient shift in his rhetoric over time. The creator shows tweets from 2015 and 2016 where Sanders frequently attacked millionaires. But, as the video claims, after Sanders sold best-selling books and allegedly became a millionaire himself, his target quietly shifted to billionaires. The creator frames this as absolute proof that the outrage is entirely self-serving.
Then there's California Governor Gavin Newsom. Highlighting Newsom's alleged $30 million net worth, the creator aggressively points out a glaring piece of irony. Newsom splurges on a luxury yacht, while the literal trillionaire they are criticizing actually does not own one.
And the creator doesn't hold back here. Using some highly charged, unfiltered language, he dismisses the progressive backlash entirely. He frames these politicians not as champions of the working class, but as self-serving elites who are just manipulating the public. He argues they literally monetize anti-capitalism, drinking, and this is a direct quote, the blood of the unfortunate to fund their infinite guilt machine. It is a fierce, unyielding rejection of their moral authority.
Section 4, the internet culture clash, social media and the ideological war.
Moving away from the politicians, the explainer dives deep into the chaotic, highly partisan discourse thriving on social media. Because let's face it, this is where the culture war is being fought daily. How exactly does internet culture reflect this deep ideological divide? I want to pose this question because the creator spends a significant chunk of the video ruthlessly mocking left-wing internet commentators and these viral anti-capitalist tweets. It's a really fascinating look at how massive economic theories play out in the digital trenches.
For instance, the creator takes direct aim at multimillionaire streamer Hassan Piker. The video highlights what it calls a complete ideological reversal. It shows old clips of Piker praising Musk as the ultimate swag champion and a real-life Tony Stark, And then it contrasts that with present-day Piker wearing expensive suits and drinking wine on stream, angrily calling Musk an insecure failure. The creator uses this juxtaposition to argue that the internet's hatred of Musk is just a trendy, performative grift. To further prove this point, the video pulls up this incredibly viral and honestly slightly absurd social media post comparing billionaires to a monkey hoarding a trillion bananas. The creator uses this specific post to demonstrate what he views as the fundamental financial illiteracy of Musk's internet critics.
But the creator actually takes the time to systematically rebut this banana analogy step by step. He explains that $1 trillion isn't a giant Scrooge McDuck vault of physical cash or bananas that you can just steal. It's equity. It's complex infrastructure. If the angry troop beats the monkey to death, the creator argues, the company's stock simply plummets to zero. There's no big pile of wealth to loot, and the mob is left with no rockets, no infrastructure, and infinite poverty.
Furthermore, the host points out this massive irony of internet users who aggressively critique capitalism and complain about Musk being a trillionaire while actively paying $8 a month for Twitter Blue. They are literally enriching him on the very platform he owns. He totally dismisses these critics as simply envious and entitled.
Finally, Section 5, Public versus Private Sector, the core ideological conflict. We finally hit the absolute foundational core of the creator's argument here, a deep-seated mistrust of the government and a fervent belief in the private sector. The source makes a definitive stand, explicitly stating he trusts Elon Musk with $1 trillion far more than he trusts the government with it. He contrasts what he sees as private sector efficiency, building rockets, colonizing Mars, creating jobs, against the public sector, which he claims is plagued by endless fraud, infinite spending on useless projects, and foreign aid that yields zero results for citizens. Because of this deep-rooted belief, the creator unabashedly celebrates Musk's reported $290 million contribution to help elect Donald Trump. Now, while critics absolutely see this as an oligarch just buying democracy, the creator flips that and frames it as a necessary, massive investment to save Western civilization from a government he views as completely broken.
To sum up his entire worldview, the creator aggressively defends capitalism as the only truly functional system. He argues that socialism inherently collapses because it punishes hard work. He famously dismisses taxation as cringe when the money is just wasted on fraud or foreign aid. He even points out that America's poorest have an obesity crisis, not a starvation crisis, arguing that just stripping wealth away from billionaires doesn't actually make the average person any richer. It just destroys the exact system that created that wealth in the first place.
So, looking through this trillionaire lens, this unfiltered rant perfectly encapsulates our modern polarization. Facts, figures, and massive wealth are quite literally being weaponized in an all-out culture war between those who view extreme wealth as the ultimate reward for innovation and those who view it as a complete systemic failure.
I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to consider. When we look at mega figures like Elon Musk, are we judging their wealth by the actual, tangible value it creates in the world? Or are we merely judging it by the envy it inspires? Thanks for exploring this complex clash with me today. Keep asking those tough questions, and I'll catch you next time.